What on earth? The USA just did something that is going to change money quite literally forever. I'm talking about the Genius Act here. Let's get into it. We're going to just get right into the meat of this video because I need you to understand that most people are too hyper focused on Bitcoin. Others watch the stock market. I enjoy the stock market, watch it, and hold certain ETFs and companies as well. But while the public remains distracted by market volatility, political headlines, regulators across the United States of America have changed monetary resources forever under the Genius Act. Federal agencies, including the FDIC and NCUA, are now actively implementing regulations that are tied to the Genius Act. This legislation is designed to create a national framework for stablecoin issuers. And for many Americans, this may just sound like another obscure crypto story like, oh, the next Bitcoin. But this is increasingly becoming a banking story, an access story, a digital ID story, a story that kind of may remind you of the book of Revelations where it talks about the mark of the beast. So first, let's get some definitions in order. What on earth is a stable coin? Well, a stable coin is a digital token designed to maintain a stable value, usually pegged to the US dollar. Unlike Bitcoin, which can rise and fall dramatically in a single day, stable coins with that root there, stable, are built to remain consistent and worth approximately $1 US. For example, PayPal already has a stable coin. Think of them as digital dollars that can move across the internet. Companies like Circle and Tether have already created hundreds of billions of dollars worth of these assets. In fact, global stablecoin market capitalization has now surpassed, get this, 300 billion, according to the recent industry reports. The appeal is simple. Nearly instant transfers, 24/7 access, cross-border payments, lower transactional costs, and reduced reliance on traditional banking. And for someone sending money from Chicago to, say, a Tanzania or a Kenya, the implications can be enormous. Now, this is why the Genius Act matters in all of this. The guiding and establishing of the National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act, commonly known as the Genius Act. You may want to get your pen and paper out here. You may want to run that back so that you understand the system that is coming, the system that is here. Was signed into law in 2025, okay? It's a federal framework for stablecoin issuance. The FDIC has proposed rules governing reserve requirements, capital standards, redemption obligations, and risk management requirements for stablecoin issuers. Now, the National Credit Union Administration has also proposed rules for credit unions seeking licenses to issue payment to stablecoins. And so in plain English, you're like, girl, I don't know what that means. Here's what it means. Washington is no longer asking whether stablecoins are valuable and should exist. Washington is implementing them into all of their banking systems across the board. I'm going to remind you that, hey, PayPal already has a stablecoin. Visa and MasterCard are planning for stablecoins, okay? And the banking industry, they are paying attention, but I want you to think. When was the last time we saw a huge banking industry shift like this? Maybe the gold rush? The US dollar becoming the reserve currency? We're quite literally on the brink and on the cusp of a world financial revolution. And the people who plan ahead and maneuver are going to be able to both leverage the system while sort of being off the system and not being too tied to it, because mind you, finance is geographical because it's based on government jurisdictions. What happens in America doesn't happen in Mauritius. I live in Mauritius, Africa, have been for 3 years, but have been in Africa for 6 years. What happens in America doesn't happen in Polynesia. What happens in Australia may not happen on the Solomon Islands, right? This is the benefit of having an island lifestyle, which really brings me to a conversation my husband told me about. His name is Harold. We do these mature adult intensives, okay? We're coming up on cohort 10. It should be available at the link in the description, www.journeywithusmovetoafrica.com/services. But there was a client, a couple. Now, this couple, they are mature in their thinking. They're in their 30s like us. They own businesses like us, and they were just heading to Rwanda. But see, Rwanda is currently going through the Ebola crisis. And as we went through the 3 weeks together, because they still have some more sessions, they're only halfway through. As we went through together with a group of a couple of other expat retirees, investors, entrepreneurs, they said on the call last night, according to what my husband told me, he said, they're actually switching out their ticket that was going to go from Texas to Rwanda. Now it's going to be Texas to Mauritius. Do you know why expats are choosing Mauritius? It's because this island nation has excellent residency programs, 10-year residence, 10-year self-employed entrepreneur visa, premium digital nomad visa, golden visa. They are making it easy for you as an American, a Canadian, a United Kingdom citizen to exit the West. Even if you're German, if you're Russian, and you're like, I'm getting kind of tired of pooing out here, I want to go somewhere else. People are fleeing these Western, whitewashed dictatorships. That's the best way I can say it. And they're fleeing to come to neutral territories, to neutral countries where their money's going to still be able to flow. Remember, neutral. So they're not on the list of the 30 U.S. embassies that were shut down in Africa. Mauritius is still good. In fact, Mauritius's U.S. embassy is about to have a multi-million-dollar transformation in the city of Mocha. Okay, but we can save that talk for behind the scenes. Subscribe to members only. If the banking industry is paying attention to what's happening, you need to pay attention to what's happening. Learn more about the Mature Adult Intensive by going to the link in the description. This is the type of intensive that saves our clients $50,000, $60,000 headaches, investing in the wrong projects, because you are the best project to invest in. Keep your own investments to yourself. Acquire businesses across the world if that's what you like to do. Get residency through your businesses that already exist, like we have, if that's what you like to do. But pay attention, because when major companies begin embracing these stable coins, the conversation shifts from speculation to infrastructure. And the question becomes, what happens when moving money internationally becomes as easy as sending an email? Now, here's why all of this matters for us as expats. For expatriates, digital nomads, and diaspora communities, stable coins are becoming increasingly important. Today, many international transfers still involve bank fees, currency conversion rates, multi-day settlement delays, limited banking access. Like if you have Wells Fargo or Bank of America, they're not going to be too happy about you transferring money to a foreign country, especially if you are in one of the foreign countries that is no longer going to have a U.S. embassy, which is shockingly countries like Botswana, Namibia, Zambia. U.S. embassy gone. These are going to be countries that if you are in them, your accounts may start to be frozen. Weird things may start to happen. They may start kicking you out of certain things. And you are an American. You use American systems, so just be respectful of the rules of those American systems. Give Caesar what's due to Caesar. Give the Most High Yah what's due to the Most High Yah, period. Now, someone working abroad could theoretically receive income in a digital dollar, hold it digitally, and convert it into local currency if and when it's necessary. And for people living in countries experiencing inflation, this possibility becomes even more significant. I mean, look at the US dollar. It's experiencing inflation. You can't tell in the US because you're like, yeah, my steak is $90. Yeah, it costs $80 to go out and go to dinner at Red Lobster for just one person or two people. But hey, it's fine because, it just happens slowly. But the inflation in America is off the chains. This is one reason adoption has accelerated in parts of Latin America, South America, Africa, Southern Africa, all regions of Africa, Asia, and beyond. But this is the risk that nobody is telling you about. The word stable can create a false sense of urgency. Stable coins are not bank deposits. The recent FDIC proposals made clear that payment stablecoins themselves do not receive federal deposit insurance protection. So how you would see the FDIC insured on your bank account? Oh, bank account. While I'm speaking bank account, why don't you go ahead and get a free $25 to $75, depending on which link you use in the description, for Wise or SoFi Invest. These are investment platforms or international transfer platforms, and there are even more platforms where those come from. That's just the beginning, but you should check out the link in the description and get your free money for your international bank accounts, so you don't have to have Wells Fargo sending you a message like your account is frozen. Like, bro, skip that. That's crazy. Anyway, regulators are attempting to address that this technology is changing because there are going to be reserve requirements, liquidity standards, audits. The financial system is very much regulated and audited for good reason, risk management rules, and compliance oversight. Yet, risk is still there because researchers continue to warn about redemption pressures, operational failures, blockchain vulnerabilities, and broader financial market stress. Because, Bitcoin is down today. Everything's going to be down today. As you are hearing this video, as you are seeing this video, you're like, why is everything down? Because the Iran war is back up. We've been in a ceasefire. But ma'am, sir, if you have not been paying attention, Israel has sent missiles to Iran. Iran has sent missiles to Kuwait. America is sitting in the background like, okay, peace deal over, but they already knew that, ma'am, sir. And let me tell you something else about our clients in the state of the diaspora. Last night my husband told me, they were like, hey, we've booked our tickets for July. They said they're getting out. I'm going to be honest with you. It's June 8th. We have never had clients move that quickly. Okay. Our clients, their moving time is on average 3 months, 4 months from when they take the program. Okay. And we've served 9 cohorts of clients in the mature adult intensive. Okay. But these people, they're like, I'm ready to go. I already see what's happening. They're like, Ebola's out there, the hantavirus over there, the war's over that way. Let me book my tickets while I got the price when it was lower, because guess what? My husband, Harold, who is their consultant and coach, told them, book your tickets now while they're talking about a ceasefire, because today, by the time you're watching this video, your tickets are already double. Maybe best case scenario, just 30% higher. But your tickets are higher because the Iran war is back. Like we've been saying, we said this ceasefire is fake. There's no peace. There's peace, and then sudden destruction as prophesied by the Messiah in the book of Matthew. That's just the reality of the situation. That's the reality of the system. And if you are someone that does not want to understand prophetically what's happening, financially what's happening, if you're like, wow, these two things don't mix. Well, guess what? They mix for Joseph in Egypt. They mix for Daniel in captivity in Babylon. They mix when the Most High gives his prophecy and speaks to the nations and blesses one nation and doesn't bless another, and puts judgment on one nation and doesn't put judgment on another. Guess what? The Most High Yah is in everything, does everything, and is the ultimate omnipresent creator. Okay? But I want to leave you with this. This is why these headlines matter more so than Bitcoin, because the biggest financial revolutions arrive quietly. People did not recognize the importance of the internet in its early years. People did not predict smartphones would reshape the entire globe, and stablecoins may be entering a similar phase. Federal agencies are writing rules, payment companies are launching products, governments worldwide are studying adoption of stablecoins behind the scenes. Meanwhile, much of the public is still debating whether crypto is real. I gotta pause on that. Oh man, we'll be on here forever if I just do this little rant. But I'm not gonna go there, y'all. Do your own research, fact check what I'm saying, and understand. Whether you love crypto or you hate it, it's here to stay. In fact, so much so that we didn't even see this coming. It's literally in your government. If you're an American, Canadian, forget it. Your stable coins, they're already there. Federal Reserve about to be backed by federal stable coins pegged to US dollar. Because the real story is not really about digital dollars though. The coming years may determine whether stable coins become a niche technology or the future foundation of new global payments. For expats, travelers, retirees, remote workers, and international families, that deserves so much of your attention. Help your kids understand the financial system. Help your kids understand economics and geopolitics, subjects that they told us in the Black community weren't that important because you should just, learn football and go sing somewhere. No, let's get into the difficult subject matters, the difficult questions, the difficult conversations. Because when governments, banks, companies, and regulators all start moving in the same direction, History has a habit of following them. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you binge watch Journey With Us YouTube channel. You can go to our playlist, the Life in Mauritius, Africa playlist, or you could go to the 2026 Beast System playlist because it is truly epic. You want all these things to come together and make sense for you. I'll see you in the next one.